he's home. I picked him up at 2 o'clock yesterday, um, and it felt soon. I think we both wanted him to come home. He wanted to come home. I wanted him to come home, but as we got nearer to time to get ready to go, it felt soon for him. And he'd had quite a lot of physio in the morning. I think the physio had pushed him a bit because he was coming home. I think the physio said to him, "It's very unusual for you to come home so soon." I mean, he was coming home 24 hours after the op. So he was on the machine in the morning, which pushes the leg up, that flexes the knee like this to 60 degrees or more. I don't know how long he was on the machine for. And then I think the physio got him walking and then took him on the stairs. So he did a lot yesterday morning. And so yeah, the ward he was on, the room he was in, was a lot further round from the exit than he was before. So we had to walk to that. And then we sat and waited for the nurses to give us the paperwork, and then we went down in the lift, and he sat outside, and I went and fetched the car. Raining on me. It's warm out here, but the rain is coming. This is the last chance to sit in the warm. And he said, "Well, can we go and do the pharmacy now? It makes sense to do the pharmacy now whilst you're on the road." And I went, "Yeah, okay." I was shattered. I'd really not slept the night before, really not. And I haven't slept last night either for other reasons. But so I was really tired, but knew that actually it does make sense to go and do this. And then realised I hadn't got his carte vitale, which I would need. It's his green card that you have to show and gets registered when you pick up medication, and I hadn't got it. I hadn't brought my bag with me. I bought my purse, keys, telephone, and didn't bring my bag, so I won't need it. And his wallet was in my bag because that wasn't meant to be kept in his room. So I said, "I haven't got your carte vitale, we can't do that." So we decided to come here, pick it up. So we did that, came here and picked it up, and then carried on to the pharmacy here in San Savan. And the prescription for the dressings and the dressing packs hadn't been completed properly, so there were no numbers on it, so I couldn't pick up any dressings. I felt I wanted to cry at that point. I felt so overwhelmed, and like, how am I going to deal with that? How am I going to sort that out? Does it mean I've got to go back down to the hospital? I can't make a phone call because my French isn't good enough for a phone call. Okay, wet. So I felt really overwhelmed. I managed to pull myself together and carry on. And I can't remember whether we came straight home from there. So we came home with some drugs that were on order, which I needed to pick up today, and me with a prescription for dressings that hadn't been filled properly, and me thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I felt I needed to be with him on the crutches. He's walking with crutches, which, if you recall, last year he wasn't by the time he came home, not without being told off. So he's walking with crutches and in pain, and so I felt I needed to be with him, doing, being around him when he was doing stuff, and generally taking care of him rather than having, him being independent. And so we came home, and he didn't have much for supper, and we sat and watched telly. He sat and watched telly. So we went to bed, and I was dreading that because, apart from feeling physically tired, I thought, I've got to get him up the stairs. Not that I could get him up the stairs, only he can get him up the stairs, I can't. But there was a sort of a level of responsibility of getting him safely up the stairs. And actually the reality was he got up the stairs pretty well, which was a relief. But then I had to carry his bloody suitcase up. And because I was so tired, it didn't occur to me to undo it and take the CPAP machine out, which made it really heavy. So I struggled. I went down, picked that up, came back up with that, struggled up with that. So got him undressed, got him in the bathroom. Then I think I unpacked some of his stuff, but then I put him in there and he unpacked some of it. And I don't know. But anyway, got him comfortable in bed, put pillow under his knee, which he likes. He had a pillow under his knees, and he went to sleep. And I laid awake worrying about him all night in case he didn't sleep, or whether he was uncomfortable, or whether if he doesn't move he's going to get pressure sores, and will he need some painkillers, and how am I going to sort this problem out with the pharmacy? How am I going to get the dressings? What if the nurses come in the morning and there are no dressings? All of that going around in my head. I think I had about 4 hours. I was wearing the mask for 4 hours. That doesn't mean I slept for 4 hours. So I got up this morning finally at 6:30 because that was it. I can't sleep any longer. I've got to try and work out what to do. And isn't it odd that it often happens that you have problems that you're trying to resolve, and that on waking something drops into place. So I came down here and went into the box that I bought out of the bathroom yesterday, which had got dressings in it, and there was a long dressing in it, which was and a half, which is long enough to redress his leg today. There I've got physiologic water. So I've got the water that was on that they need to for swabbing. I've got swabs, I've got everything but the forceps for him to have his dressing changed today. So that was a relief. I thought, oh good, that's good. So if the nurse turns up, she's got what she needs to be able to do his dressing. And then I emailed Fabienne, the secretary, and said, the hospital have said they've arranged for a nurse to visit this morning. I'm emailing you in case they haven't done that. And they hadn't done that. So we did get a nurse because Fabienne rung her and said, you need to go and see Mark and whatever. So that's done. But overnight it all felt very big, and of course now it's done. I've said that I'm going to be more strict with him physio-wise, and I've worn myself out doing that. His physio's killing me. I got him to walk further than he intended. I keep getting him to look up and face me and hold his head up, because he tends to watch where he's walking, which you don't need to in the house, it's flat. I got him to do steps, the low steps out into the hallway, just a step up, step back, step up, step back. I get him to do that again before supper, and I pretended to be the machine that bends his knee and back, bends it. That wore me. That was a struggle, but he was good, because I had said to him a few days ago, don't be grumpy with me. And I'm not looking at him now. It's like I'm doing it and I'm not looking at him screwing up his face, so I don't feel bad. He did his own anticoagulant injection last night. I'm really pleased about that, because I hated doing that, and you have to do that for 35 days. And 35 times he went, oh, and made a face, and I thought, I'm not doing that. He was a nurse. Oh, he can do it. So he's doing that. So I'm pleased about that. So I've been to the pharmacy this afternoon to collect. Oh, and I resolved it, because in the middle of the night when I got up, whenever that was, I don't remember what time it was, like 2 o'clock, I went into the middle room and brought out the dossier from last year and found the prescription for the dressings and the dressing packs, to see how many they ordered, because what was missing from that was the amount. See how many they ordered. And I thought, okay, so I've got that. And then I thought, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. And then so when I got up this morning properly, I opened it, got it out, and used it and filled in the current prescription by hand and put two. That's all I needed to do. And I thought, I'll just take it in, and if they ask, I'll say it was dictated to me over the phone. They didn't ask. But I said to the nurse this morning, she said, well, just say I did it. It's like, but those problems are massive, aren't they, when you're laying awake in the middle of the night? So that resolved. So that's good. I feel good about that. So I've been there to pick up his stuff. My French is absolutely diabolical today. I really struggled. I struggled to the point we were all laughing. And in the end, and I'd finished struggling and got what I needed and I just went, okay, merci, au revoir, because it was like, and I can't have enough. It's enough now. I can't do any more of this. But they're friendly in there and they know me. They know my French isn't normally that bad, but it was absolutely. And there was a woman in there, a customer, trying to persuade me that a friend of hers wanted to do some conversation with an English person to improve her accent. And I'm thinking, I can't. No. People say, but it's only an hour. It would only be an hour, which is what she was saying. And it's like, the problem is only an hour for them is not an hour for me. It's oh God, so and so's coming tomorrow. Oh God, I need to make sure the house is clean. I need to make sure we've eaten. I need to make sure. It's like when we used to have clients, private clients at home. It's not just that session. It's different, obviously, because you're seeing private clients. It isn't just the session because you're thinking about the session, you're planning how the next session might be, you're writing up the session, or you're encountering events out in the real world and thinking, oh, I wonder how Jenny would look at that. I wonder how Penny would look at that and what they would think and how helpful that would be. So it's like when you don't just switch off. You're not switched on for an hour and switched off. It's not like that. Well, I know this isn't a psychotherapy client, but having someone come into my house once a week, or having a routine would be difficult. The only routine we have is art, and that works. I love it. And on good days we manage to get there, and on a day like today, there's no way I'd be there. But yeah, having someone come to my home, so that would be another part of my week that would be disrupted, and I'm not up for that anymore. I used to be. I used to be what you would call a rescuer. Take care of people, see what if they needed stuff, and if they needed stuff, I'd do it, and all of that. But I've learned that actually there comes a time when you just got to put yourself first, and you can't take care of other people's needs. And if you don't take care of your own needs, you're not, what's the word? Damn it. It was there. Potent. You're not potent. So if you're running at 95%, 80, 90%, you're not potent when you're taking care of other people. And I've learnt that well. So hence why the cat stayed outside the door, because I wasn't that was enough. Imagine if I had let that in and been feeding it, and God knows, because I'm absolutely shattered now. I'd be even more shattered, I think. So he's doing well now. He nearly fainted this morning in the bathroom, um, getting himself washed. Well, I washed him, but getting ready to wash his face and clean his teeth. And he started to talk about having a shave, and I went, you don't need to shave. So we sat and waited for him to recover, and then got him out and got him dressed. And so when I was in the pharmacy, I was looking for a seat that he could perch on, which people perch on in their kitchens, something where you can just rest your bum, quite a high seat that you can rest your bum on. I thought I could get one of those. Now, if they'd got one in there, I would have come home with one, but they hadn't. But they looked in the catalogue. What they'd got was a bit more complicated than I was planning, and actually was €108. And what I was trying to say to them in French, which was the last straw, was that in a few days' time, he's not going to need it anyway, because he won't. Remembering last time, so I decided not to get it, because he's still, this time last time, he didn't come out till tomorrow, so it's difficult to assess how well he is because you can't compare it until tomorrow. And when he came out last time, he went straight to physio, and then I picked up the prescription from the pharmacy in Chauvigny, and we picked up crutches. I think it was on that day. We picked up crutches for him, and he carried them in from the car, left them in the bunker, and walked down to the post box without them. So if he can do that tomorrow or Friday, then I'll know where he's at. I'll know that he's improved. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and you can see this tea. This is how tired I am. This is tea bag in a mug. I never do that. I always use a teapot. I don't like doing tea bags in mugs, but today it's like I don't care. So let's go and disturb Mark, who's surfing. Comme d'habitude. Action. Say hello.
Hello. Action. It's a shop on the outskirts of Memorial.
I told them how difficult you've been.
Well, there's an analgesic because paracetamol apparently is the answer to the post-operative sort of pain, but they added another one. I can't remember the name of it, which you can inject, but in fact you just dilute the liquid in a bit of water, and it tastes sort of slightly minty. But apparently one of the side effects is aggression and violence. So I took one earlier, and guess who turned aggressive? Verbally, not me. So I'm still feeling fairly disabled. I mean, doing ordinary things like getting dressed is hard going, and I need to sleep afterwards. But I think I am improving. I was quite shocked. You know, I had surgery on the Monday afternoon. Dr. Lawson, the surgeon, came to see me. Said you can go tomorrow, Tuesday that is, yesterday. And lo and behold, I was gone, and I could, the physiotherapist came to see me before I went because they put a machine under the leg you've been operated to sort of bend it gradually under power electrically, and I heard him talking to somebody else outside the door, and
the physio
saying, I think he was shocked with how fast I was going out. But I think Dr. Lawson said, well, there was no bleeding particularly, and
you don't do blood, do you? You never give anybody any blood.
I don't know. They've taken a fair bit over their time.
The nurses have a struggle to get your blood.
Well, I just point them in the right direction. It's there. I'm going to get it tattooed, little target marker. But so yeah. I mean, I don't remember how long it took last time, but this time I've got two crutches, not just one. I started on one.
But you walked on one.
I walked on one. I was advised to walk on one.
Yeah, and
now nobody's mentioned that. I'm on two.
We won't be able to measure how well you are until either tomorrow afternoon. I don't know whether we took you yesterday on the Thursday afternoon. On the Thursday morning, I picked you up and I took you to physio. And I'm not sure if it was that same day that I picked up the crutches. But I know on the day that we picked up the crutches and brought them home that you carried them in and left them in here. So if you're able to do that.
But the physiotherapist last time in the hospital said one. Crutch.
Yeah.
And two feels sort of manageable.
Secure at the moment.
Secure. I don't know how long that goes. I don't know. So, but fortunately, it's actually quite moderately warm, so I can wear shorts, but with black tights.
They're not black tights though; they're compression socks.
Well, compression socks.
You do look like you're on.
They look like black nylons. We haven't found a suspender belt for them yet, but
I'll have a route round, see what I've got.
And we've had a community has come and redress it, and it's the first time I've seen it.
It looks as good as the last one.
It's got loads of clips in it.
The last
looks
one
like more than last time.
No, I don't think so. She liked it. I think because they like taking them out, so she was a bit excited. What was going on for her?
I mean, I used to quite like taking out stitches because it was sort of steady, delicate work.
Mm.
I once had to take. I was doing general training, and I don't remember why, but I was called into because they operated on some old chap.
I think you've said this before on a vlog recently.
Have I?
You might have done.
But he had his scrotum stapled up.
I'm sure, yeah, you did.
And they, because I'm a bloke, they got me to go and take him out. There was a nurse there holding his hand, or two nurses or something, to stop him fighting with me.
Holding him down.
Holding him off, yeah. But oh God, it was agony. Just doing it was bad enough. But, mind you, last time when it does the knee, there's a faint sort of pinching, but that's about it. That's all really. So when it comes to,
I mean,
they take him out alternately first to make sure it's going to hold. I think.
But today so you've slept really well overnight and not any pain. You're comfortable with the pillows under your knees and actually getting around better.
Yeah, gradually getting easier to get around.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
And you've got more physio coming up in about, what's the time? What's the time now?
3:10.
Another hour maybe.
I'm going to go for another nap. I feel I need a.
What, before the physio?
Quite possibly, if not afterwards as well.
So I've complained about that on there, how hard it is for me.
Oh, you've got it hard. see, I get the treatment. She gets all the problems, she says.
You said it, I didn't.
Well, I did it because that's what I'm noticing.
Yeah, so that's where we're at. And I think that's it now. I'm going to close, I'm not going to close the gates because I can't be bothered to walk down there. But there is somebody coming for something tomorrow morning, I think, at 9:30, sadly.
Oh, is that the woman for the crate?
No, she's meant to be here, have been here this morning for the pallets.
Oh, was she?
I've not even chased her, I can't be bothered. So there's somebody coming to pick something up and I need to cancel that pasta maker, but I'm not going to go and do that. Right. So, goodbye from him.
Au revoir, and it's goodbye from her.
Goodbye from me. See you on the other side.
Other side of what?
I don't know.
Oh.